guys, Little Miss Simmy's here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a sped up version of a house I built, so I guess you could call it a speed build. That's probably what it'll be called in the description, or in the title, I guess, but that's what I'm doing. So, this house was inspired by Sunlit Tides, which you can't tell now. Maybe you can tell that it's being built in Sunlit Tides, but yeah, it's actually being inspired by Sunlit Tides because after I did my little overview review thing, whatever you want to call it, where I reviewed and did my reaction to not Sunset Valley, to Sunlit Tides, I realized how much I loved the houses, and that's when I decided to challenge myself to try to do something like that because I've never been much of a builder. You just really don't know, but I'm really, really not much of a builder. I'm kind of a crap builder at that, actually. So this was kind of spur of the moment, I guess. So I guess I can go into the house. So it was really kind of last second. I didn't really know what I was gonna do, but maybe you noticed in the beginning I set up a split level, a little family room that's gonna be a family room area. Um, and I am actually going to be uploading a tutorial on how to get split leveling in houses soon with the foundation, so you can look forward to that, and I can link back to this and whatever. In case you're curious, I've been building, I keep saying it's really, really late, and I'm really tired, but in case you're curious, this house was built as a beach house type, not really a full-time house, because in all honesty, Sunlit Tides is more of a vacation town, you know what I mean? It's more of like a vacation destination than a town, so I designed this to be kind of the beach shore houses that I see when I go to the beach. Obviously slightly different style because it's more of an island style, but I still like it. I still really like it. I was messing with constrained floor elevation like crazy, so I had a bit of frustration with that, but nothing too major, nothing that really set this back. I started this on Sunday, I think, and I started it like the night after I put up my Sunlit Tides review reaction video. So, yeah. Maybe you can see I'm messing with more constrained floor elevation, just setting up some columns, because I don't like the Sim 3 columns. I was going to use the Tiki columns that came with the Sunlit Tides town, but it really didn't fit the style of the house I wanted to do. So, yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm messing with more of that. I don't really have that much experience, believe it or not. Probably not that hard to believe. I don't have that much experience with constrained floor elevation. All I know is what I've learned from other people's channels or the Sim Supply. The reason I also wanted to do this was because Sim Supply has obviously been uploading more videos as of late, as I've mentioned in my current household video, and so they've been inspiring me like crazy to just, or not they, I guess, Bazaluki just does Let's Plays, but he's also new, so Flabaluki's been inspiring me to get better with my building. So now I'm starting to mess around with windows a little bit. I really, really wanted to avoid the like full length modern windows, so I tried to go for the tiki ones that you can see, but they just really didn't work out because I didn't feel like it was nice enough. Because as you'll see, the only thing I wasn't entirely pleased with in the end of this house was the fact that the outside of the house didn't particularly match the inside. Which you'll see the inside is very luxurious, very beach house style, whereas the outside is more of the island feel. I didn't really know how to match those two tastes, so I just kind of did my best and lived with it. I guess that's as best as you can do. So there is me saving the game, just ignore that. There's another spot in this video where I'm saving the game and you watch. But like I was saying, I did this over a span of quite a few days, actually. It was kind of a long process. for me, and there I am saving again, so just ignore that, that's annoying. But this took me like a week to do, to be honest. But I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. So, originally I had like two colors, but then eventually I branched into the red and then the green, as well as the blue and the yellow, because it just kind of completed it. And it also allowed me to do the more stylistic columns on the back, um, coming out from the deck, and then that deck ends up being the private deck for the master suite, um, in the upstairs. This house only ends up being a two-bedroom house, which may or may not be hard to believe. You'll see once I do the inside how that all pans out, but it ends up being a two-bedroom house, which isn't that bad. Obviously there's one master bedroom, and then there's also a what is it? There's also a pretty nice um like boys room. I When I make houses, I kind of pick who I'm designing the house for, even though that's not particularly the family you're going to be moving in. For me, to make it easier for me to create the house, I just kind of pick a family in my mind. And so I designed this house as a beach house for like a mother and possibly a husband, and then I pretended that either A, um, she had twin boys, or she had like one son and then he had a friend, or maybe they were just like brothers, whatever suits you. But that's kind of how I styled it. So I styled it for just like a small family of four, obviously a bit better well off than a lot of other families considering they're owning a beach house. So there I am, adding a bit more detail to the side of the house, but pretty much once I get the brown windows in, and those choppy ones are the ones that I end up settling with for the windows, once that's done, that's pretty much what I keep. I don't know if I change anything. So then I tried to add a pool for a little while. This is actually quite embarrassing. I tried to remove these clips, but I just really wanted to get the recording done for this, so. For a while, I really tried to mess around with a pool shape. A lot. You're gonna see how much I fail. I've never messed with, the pool shapes in this game, really at all. Ever. So, yeah, you can see how much I'm failing. I like keep doing the same thing over and over again, and I didn't understand that when you delete the pool, it replaces it with a floor tile, and it was so confusing. Um, so hopefully this misery ends soon. And also, these are probably gonna be choppy recordings. Since it's sped up, you probably won't notice, but, like I said, I did this over several recordings in the course of a week, so, um, a lot of the recordings are starting and stopping and whatever. But so once I got the basic idea of the outside, I really wanted to get like one of the bedrooms done, just so that I could get a feel for more so what the house was going to be like. So I decided to do that with the master bedroom. I definitely knew I wanted to use the new bed that came with the Sunlit tides, so that's the bed I put down. And it really was inspirational, because then I started messing with colors, and I kind of knew what I had wanted, but then I started choosing the official wood for the house. Um, and it's the same wood that I just chucked down right there, that I use several times, like endless amounts of times throughout the house. So I got a nice wall, and then I decided to do a feature wall, which is just like the same color but a bit nicer along one wall. So that's what I put behind the bed. I thought it looked really nice, and you had kind of the wavy walls looking kind of nice. So now was when I started chucking down some lights so that I could get a better view for what it would look like. And then I wanted to put the couch there, but then I ended up moving the couch over, as you can see now, and replacing it with an end sort of couch table. Obviously, you can't sit on that unless you have pose player. But I just chucked down some stuff. And then I chose those nice little stump things. I really tried to stick with a kind of islandy theme on the inside, but as you can see, in the end, it doesn't really end up working out that way. Um, Looking back, this is kind of interesting to watch, because like I started to feel really hopeless after a while about this house, because I didn't know if it would finish. A lot of the houses I've started in the past just end up in disaster. Never finish the house, never get anything done. But I really, really stuck it through in this house, and I was so happy with the end result. Oh, my monitors went to sleep. But I was really happy with the end result. As you can see, I really did spend a lot of time on this master bedroom, and now I'm just working on the curtains, which are also used a lot through the house. I'm throwing them down now. I don't know if they came with Sunlit Tides or if they're custom content. I hope they're not custom content, but if you download it and it doesn't come with it, then I'm sorry. Um, but it would be helpful for you to have Sunlit Tides for you to chuck this lot down on, just so that you can have kind of the same layout, because I really based a lot of the house on the views that you were given, and the master bedroom has amazing views of the ocean. Oh my god, just like 360 all around views. It was amazing. Then I put down the archway into the bathroom. Some people might think that it's weird to have an archway, but then I added those curtains to make it a bit more realistic around the archway, so that it's almost like you can close the curtains. Because, I mean, if it's a master bedroom, I think you should be comfortable enough with your spouse who you had children with. You should be comfortable enough with them to not have a door on the bathroom. Um, so I wanted to keep it really open, really nice, really luxurious on the inside, more of a beach house feel, like I said. So I'm just putting down some miscellaneous decor right now. I really went kind of crazy with miscellaneous decorations in this house, but I'm really happy with that decision to do that I made, because it really, in the end, part of the thing that made me love this house so much was just how livable it looked, and like how lived in it felt, and just how honest it felt. So um, I took the feature wall, which was just a plain wall, and put it in the bathroom as the bathroom wall color, because I thought that looked really nice to walk from the bedroom into similar schemes. So then I start using some of the different things. Wait, what? I start using some of the different stuff available with the Sunlit Tides, including that shower that I'm recoloring now. I end up placing it next to the bathtub, just for a bit of a better, I don't know, layout. I really, really love this bathroom. I'm kind of obsessed with it. And then I decided to do not a dual sink, but just a one sink. And that's not really the nicest thing to put down now that I look back, but whatever. I just put down a lot of miscellaneous decorations, and I love that little cart. And towels, and the medicine cabinet. The medicine cabinet I loved. I was so happy I found that. Towels and a rug, and, just trying to make it feel really normal. So then I lit up the bathroom, and then I was pretty much good with that. So then I just wanted to get the entire master bedroom scheme done. So I moved right onto the porch area. Um, it's really nothing too extravagant. I wasn't that big of a fan of it, but I wanted to keep it very luxurious and laid back, like I've said 1,000 times, but that's how I wanted to keep it, so that's how I did. I did have a bit of trouble finding the right couch, but um, since this was outside of the house, I definitely stuck with the mismatched colored items, and it looked kind of good. I'm not really sure. So then I lit it up with some torches, which I thought looked kind of nice, and moved on. And I never mentioned it, but the roof is also from the Sunlit Tides. So it would really help if you had Sunlit Tides if you were going to download this house. Which, by the way, I'll mention it at the end again, but if you're interested in downloading this house, which maybe or maybe not, you will be, I will be doing a separate video with just a tour of the house, because in the end of this video, I only show you a couple pictures of just the exterior of the house, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to have, do a tour video in a separate video for download, just that it was more professional, because some people don't want to sit through this and maybe get bored and leave. Maybe, hopefully some of you will find this interesting. Let me know in the comments below. So now I'm just doing the basic layout of the family room. I do the family room, I do that, and then I kind of give up and quit, and then I came back the next evening and messed around a bit more with the woods. There was not really any woods I liked, and now looking back, the wood that I did end up choosing, which was that wood, didn't even look that good, because it looked really repeating. Oh my god, pardon me. I need water. So this was the point that I found those paintings, and then I decided to change them around a bit and get a nicer entryway, a more lived-in entryway, and I'm kind of obsessed with those. I found those because of Meg Loves Games, over at Meg Loves Games. Her name's Meg, I think, obviously. Um, she found those, and then I looked into it and became kind of obsessed. So I really, really do love the entryway because I added lights and a couple plants. And just pardon me for 1 second, I'm gonna grab a drink of water. Hey, sorry about that. My voice just got really dry. I don't know if you can hear it. So I'm adding in the plants. And this is when you can really start to get the feel for the house. And I end up loving the downstairs, the upstairs. My favorite room was either the kitchen or the boys' room, which you'll see later. The boys' room is so nice. Like, it's not like luxurious, but it's like lived in, and I love making the houses I build seem lived in and real. So you may or may not have noticed the funky pattern I use on the wall downstairs. I use that because it was a beach house and I wanted to make it bright and fun and kind of match the outside feel. So I did that, and then upstairs was kind of a plainer wall, but I thought it really complemented it. And then this was about the time that I started messing around with the stairs, because then I was using these pyramid stairs from World Adventures, and then I realized that they kind of intersected the wall and looked kind of bad, and that was where I wanted to place the kitchen. But then I changed it to the nicer glass ones, and I ended up really liking the placement of the staircase because it was kind of hidden away, which in the end was just better. So I started the kitchen by doing a dining room table, but then quickly went into doing the actual counters, just because I knew it would make my life easier if I did it like that. Just grab another sip of water. And I love how it turns the corner, and then it's kind of more of a private area. And then I have a little nook where the trash can went, and just little, like, a preparation area. I think it looks so nice. I don't know. I feel like this would be a great party house, great for hosting and whatever. So I'm just adding in the basic layout of the kitchen. That's the area I was talking about back there. Oh, camera shifting around a lot. This video is actually sped up to 950 times, or I guess, I don't know how to describe that. It's almost 1,000, or I don't know how to describe that. I guess it's 10 times the speed that I built it, because in total this video, or this lot in the end was about, I think it was 4 hours and 40 minutes was the time before I condensed all of the files to 10 times faster, and ended up with 27 minutes, which 27 minutes is still very absurd, very, very long amount of time to sit through. So I apologize. You shouldn't have to sit through that. If you are sitting through that, then write in the comments below, I don't know, in the comments below, write supercalifragilisticexpialidocious if you're still watching right now, because that'll be interesting to see if people are still watching at this point in the video. Hope you are. Hope you like it. So I'm just adding in some more miscellaneous decor and making it more lived in. And then I end up loving it though, because it's like the bar stools are like right next to the stairs, to the split leveling of the family room, and it's just like a great party house. So, oh yay! So now I'm going into the boys' room, and so this was a custom pattern I downloaded. Oh, hello. Am I going back? Yeah. And that was a custom pattern I got, and then I did another feature wall like I did in the master. And I loved the green. It's so like boyish and whatever. Obviously more luxurious than a boys' room in modern civilization would be, but this is a beach house, and beach houses, or at least the beach houses I go to, beach houses are usually much better decorated, much more bright, and I don't know, beach houses I go to are just really kind of lovely. So I added in that dresser, and then I chucked another one right next to it for like the other boy. Obviously, I don't think it can be used. I haven't play tested this house, but I'm assuming that the second dresser to the right can't be used. But I thought that it just looked nice. The first one will probably be usable, but yes. So I started adding in that rug, and then I realized how plain it was and how unrealistic it was. No boy's gonna live like that. So I added in the stereo and some really nice pictures. I really liked the mismatched posters that end up going on that wall. And then I added like a drum set and a couple guitars, and I don't know. When I was going through the pictures for the boys' room, I found a bunch of pictures I wanted to put in other parts of the house, so that's why I keep switching and going down. But that's where I had the couple guitars. I tried to use like bass game instruments so that you guys could not have to change them, because that would be annoying. And then I added in lighting, because you need lighting to see. That's what I'm doing there. Yeah. I hope you guys are liking this. Um, if you like this speed build type thing, like I said, I'm not a very good builder, so I don't know how often I would do these, but if you do like this type of video, obviously very different from anything I've ever done. This is the first speed build I've ever done on this channel. But if you do like this kind of video, let me know, because, I don't know, I really ended up enjoying this, and I'm so excited to make the walkthrough tour video, because I haven't done that yet. So I really hope you guys like this. So there I'm just making a little sitting area at the top of the stairs. Don't know if it's usable, but I did it anyway. If it's not usable, I'll probably still keep it because it looks really nice. But I'm just trying to make it look kind of nice. And I had such a hard time figuring out what to do with those lights around the master bedroom, or like what I should put there, because I would have loved to do a double door into the master bedroom, because that's what I always love to do with masters. But it was like 3 slots for doors, and it would have looked weird if I'd only had one little position open into the bedroom. And then in the bedroom there was like the dresser intersecting, so I thought it would look nicer if I just added in a couple planks. But obviously that happened forever ago because this is going 10 times the speed, so now I'm chucking in some lights on the balcony. That is just kind of an everyone balcony looking over the front. And then now I'm messing with paintings for right there, and then I realized that the wall kind of cuts over, so then I end up changing the balcony, but no worries, I'm not going there yet. The dining area is kind of, I don't know, it's like sort of modern, but not really. It's just kind of really family oriented. I love it. So I add in more lights and stuff. And just looking back, this looks so lovely. I love the wraparound kitchen. This house is so different from anything I've ever done. It's just so, I don't know. Yeah, that's where I changed the balcony, because I realized that it looked stupid. And then I ended up liking it a lot better without all the fancy hexagonal stuff. That's not even a word, I don't think. Well, hexagon is, but um speaking of hexagons, I start math next week in school. If you're interested. Oh, my phone buzzed. Um, in case you're interested, that's going on. I'm starting school on September 4th. So yeah, I'm just doing the bathroom that can be accessed by any room, but most likely the boys' room. So I chucked in a nice shower and toilet. Didn't really do much fancy with it. It wasn't as big as the master suite bathroom, so I didn't do that much. I didn't know where to put there, so I just chucked a stereo. So now is kind of where I was pushing the final parts of the house. As you can see, there's only about 3 minutes left in the video. Can't believe I've been talking for almost half an hour, but apparently I have been. So this is kind of where I was getting to the end. This was recorded yesterday, I believe. Just this end part where I'm just filling in the different stuff. I decided that there's cool bookcases from high-end loft stuff, and then I chucked a couple cool bean bags for like the boys in front of it, and then I put some clutter below, and then I added in those nice feature carpets. Put it in a reading nook, and yeah, just a couple lights, and I really, really love this split leveling. I think it looks so nice. Maybe you guys do, maybe you don't, but I love it. And there I was just messing around with more Sunlit Tide stuff. There I am adding in the clutter, the books. I think it looks nice, so I hope you think it looks nice. More plants. I love greenery in homes, and I decided it was a conscious decision not to really do any curtains around the family room because the family room is meant to be just like an all-around view of the ocean. So I really wanted to avoid doing any curtains there. And so now is when I'm doing the front porch, and then I ended up messing around with hot tubs for a while. I really, really liked the hot tub right there that came with the Sunlit Tides, but it covered up the view, and it's like, for a good hot tub, I didn't want to sacrifice a great view from pretty much the feature room of the house, which is the split level family room. I didn't want to chuck in a weird hot tub there, so um, I decided not to. And I just put in a modest one with lots of greenery around it. I think it's nice because, I mean, if you want to go in the hot tub but not be in the blazing sun, it look kind of nice. And then I added that trampoline, and there was a certain amount of outdoor landscaping I cut out from this video just because I was being too indecisive and it was so close to the end. So I didn't want to spoil it by just spending forever. And plus, these videos have been taking so much of my computer space, so that was an issue. But then I just did a little bit of sand around the entire lot using tricks from the Sim Supply. I hope you see me adding in trees. Yeah, I love those trees, so I added a bunch in around the lot. I think I added in a modest amount. And then I messed around with plants for a while. Plants are mainly where I stopped recording for this video. But then I ended up loving that little space over the trampoline with the little bendy tree, you know? But yeah, I started chucking in those yellow plants, and I'm not the greatest landscaper, so I just did yellow and, or I guess that might be orange, yellow, orange, and pink. Just stuck with it. And then I chucked a blue starfish there, and nothing really at all happened. I don't know. Um, we're gonna be getting the pictures in a few seconds, but this is pretty much the end of the house. I mean, do you guys like it? There's the picture of the front. Do you like it? Let me know in the comments below because I don't know. This has been Little Miss Simmies, and thanks for watching.